Henry McClure live. Alan, it's easier for me to make a video real quick. And this is going out to Alan Cobb, who sent me an email about, hey, here, let me just read what he said. Thank you for sending. What are your specific goals? I'm old enough that when I moved to Topeka in '89 for law school, on Topeka Boulevard, there were Sears, The Gap, Red Lobster, Bennigan's Steak and Ale, B. Dalton Bookstore, and a great Italian restaurant, among other things. I don't think Alan Cobb, the president of our Kansas chamber, will mind being identified in a Henry McClure video. So let's just step back, because at that juncture, you got a better memory than me, because I was living in Long Beach, California, at 5306 Ocean Boulevard. I think that was pretty much the address. I was working for the Macerich Company, who was at the time the largest mall owner in California. And part of my duty was also a mall in Reno, Nevada, that I was bouncing back and forth like a ping pong ball. You never knew where I was. Just imagine me with a no no limit on my expense account. and, my boss, this guy named Steve Roush from Topeka, his dad, Fred, was a respected lawyer here in town. And actually, I like Fred because it was one of his ideas to name McClure School after my grandfather. But anyway, I digress. So Roush would go, hey, Henry, you got to do an expense report, because I don't even know where you've been until you do it. And about this time was the beginning of a bit of a decline, and maybe a few years more, more like the early 90s. It was tough to find people to go into malls. But let me tell you, we could keep our malls filled. Well, today, retail is dead. And what we're going to have to do, we're going to have to rebuild retail. And we're going to have to rebuild our economy. We're going to have to rebuild our lives by taking care of our own. We're going to have to trade with the people down the street. And this is an opportunity where I'm not saying I've got all the answers. What if I said I got none of the answers? But we give all the entrepreneurs the opportunity to take care of themselves. So we create an area that needs to be redeveloped, that once thrived as retail, and a great area. You know, at one time, that was a United States Highway 75. So the idea with the TIF district, bring back the Boulevard TIF district in that area, is to create opportunities, to create more developers, to create more opportunities for developers. But you know, and not every project can be TIF. But if a TIF project happens next to you, well, it's a good reason to go renovate your building and add value, and it will make it more attractive. It will be incentive for you to fix the deferred maintenance and make the property values increase. TIF doesn't work on each renovation. You got to understand what TIF is all about. And I'm going to send you an email, what Greg Schwert put together for mainline printing. You know, I sold the Sears building to John Parker, who runs Mainline Printing, who was telling me the other day, it was like, hey, he goes, after I moved from downtown, I thought that would be the end all. And his business is really growing. And Mainline is a jewel here for Topeka. I mean, there are holographic printers in there that are one of a kind in the world. And Macerich was the second owners of White Lakes. And so I joined them in '83. Even more ironically, at this time in 1983, I was working for a guy named Henry Nathan Sims, and Nathan was the original builder of the Gordman's building in 1965. Macerich was the original developer. My dear friend Dana Anderson put together all the deals to make that center. And lately, well, so when Gordman's gave us back the keys due to bankruptcy, this was the first time then we had an opportunity to go ahead and lease the frontage. You know, over time, Gordman's gave us permission to develop Bennigan's and the theater, and I don't know if it was in which order, which came first, the theater or Bennigan's. Which came first, the theater or the Monte Cristo? Everybody loves that. So, hey, listen to this. So we will be tearing Bennigan's down. We've got a lot of players to lease the frontage, but zero in the back. So we're asking the city of Topeka to consider giving us I-Light zoning just for the building or any other enclosed building in the back, because retail's dead. And the other day I was telling somebody, well, why don't you consider leasing out in the mall? And there was just a lot of negative things about the mall. And the mall is for another day. We got to fix where we are today. So you really have to wipe out of your mind big box retail coming back to White Lakes, because if you need a big box, just go buy the Sears building, be attached to the mall. What this project is mainly about is the whole world transferred to Wanamaker. Wanamaker is our downtown, whether we like it or not. And my whole life, since I've been back in Topeka since 2000, I've been up against Wanamaker Road. And if you can't find a location on Wanamaker, we're not coming to Topeka. I couldn't get people to come down to College Hill, and it's been tough to get people to take properties on Topeka Boulevard. So I think this is to support the 10-0 vote of the city council to tear down the mall. That was a bold move, but let's keep the momentum going. And let's create more entrepreneurs and developers that might have a relationship with somebody or a dream that they want to execute in their own building, and create a redevelopment district that can help spur development in an area that needs it. So that's the long-winded answer. How's your Weimaraner?